Hey, today we're going to talk about what I call paranormal awareness. We're going to talk a little bit about why it's important to build your natural, subtle senses and what you can gain from developing your paranormal awareness. And in case you didn't know, I'm Kadrick Olson, author of Runes for Transformation, and I've lived a paranormal life. I grew up in a house that was haunted. I took psychic development classes as a kid. And all through my life of working with runes, teaching runes, and doing the Norse practices, this paranormal stuff has been an important integral part of it, even though I haven't been so overt and open about it. And I'm on a mission to change that right now. Now, one of the things that's important about paranormal awareness to be aware of is it's actually perfectly natural and normal. As kids, we all had this. We were all kind of tripped out, experiencing imaginary friends, otherworldly creatures, and various kinds of energy patterns that we didn't know how to explain or to express. And then when we told it to our parents, we were there, told this is just your imagination. Stop playing these games. And sure, some of it is. Some of it's imagination, some of it's playing games. But, if you've ever had a cat or a dog and you notice them tripping out on something in the room or staring at something or acting really bizarre when you can't see it, there's something else going on. And as kids, we were able to see that. Now, paranormal awareness comes in what I was calling our subtle senses. We all know the main senses that we have, right? Sight, sound. You can see things, you hear things, you can feel when you touch things, of course. And for the simplest explanation, your subtle senses parallel those. Your paranormal awareness includes things like clairvoyance, which is the ability to see subtle energies. That could be see the shapes of people, that could be getting a visual impression of things that are not a part of the room or the situation that you're in. Clairaudience is that ability to hear sounds or voices and that are disembodied or, like I said, not a part of the current room or the situation that you're in. There's clairtangency, the ability to feel things, to touch things. And there's an ability that's sort of difficult to describe, but it's important to know that we all have this. It's called clairsentience. And sentience is the ability to feel. It's your awareness of energy. So when you walk into a room, sometimes it'll feel stagnant or the energy's flowing or it's like open or it's closed. And your clairsentience will alert you to the energy state of the room. Your clairsentience is also what will tell you if there's somebody in the room, like a spirit or that sort of thing. I guess an interesting way to describe how clairsentience feels is you get those moments when you know somebody's looking at you or somebody's in the room with you. You didn't hear them walk into the room. You didn't see them walk into the room, but yet you've got that feeling that there's somebody in the room with you looking at you. So you turn around and you say, oh, hey, how's it going? Because you recognize a person. They're not a threat to you. There's nothing wrong or scary about it. You just have that feeling that somebody's in the room with you because basically the energy changed. And that's an interesting way to describe clairsentience. Now, the reason why we have these paranormal abilities, this paranormal awareness, it goes back to that adage that we hear all the time is we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. And I'm going to tell you that's not true. We are physical and spiritual beings having a dynamic experience. What happens to one affects the other, vice versa. Given that we are spiritual and physical beings, we also live in a physical and an energetic world. That means, yes, you could see the table, you could see the wall, you walk along the floor, and you can't walk through the wall. At the same time, that space of the room that you're in is filled with subtle energy. It's filled with an energy that other beings can make use of so that they can manifest in or can be present in. And these energies, these beings are, let's call it a self-coherent energy form. That's kind of a weird way to describe it, but they are self-coherent energy existing within this subtle energy. So we live in a paranormal world. Just as much as the natural world is a natural, normal part of our existence, so too is the paranormal. And what we're going to be getting into through these next series of videos is developing your paranormal awareness is a critical factor for your safety and your well-being. Not only does it alert you to the presence of subtle beings, astral entities, spirits in the room around you, but it also alerts you to how they're trying to interact with you, sometimes for your benefit, sometimes not. Paranormal awareness also gives you this ability to gain a different perspective of your reality, your place in the world, and the things that are going on around you, so that you can make better decisions for yourself, clearer decisions. And it gives you the ability to communicate with beings that have a completely different perspective of time and space than you do, so they can give you insights that you wouldn't have gotten any other way. Now, I know some of our community leaders, our religious leaders, parents and other authority figures have told us to stay away from the paranormal. It's dangerous, that you need to just shut your eyes, shut it all down, get away from it so that it's not a part of your life. And that's simply not true. The more you are aware of the paranormal, the more you are able to interact with it with a clear consciousness. You are completely aware of what's going on, and you can make those decisions for yourself, the safer you are. So really, all of those people who are telling you don't connect with the paranormal, don't do paranormal stuff, they're coming at a place of fear and misunderstanding. And you'll understand that more as you develop your paranormal awareness. You'll understand what these beings are, what these entities are, how they affect you, and what's going on in the world. And you can come at it from a place where it's like, I know what to do now, and I know how to interact with it. And I promise you, a vast majority of my life, I've been working with the paranormal directly, constantly on a day-to-day basis. And I can tell you that 99.9999% of what's going on in the paranormal world is not malevolent or harmful. And the little tiny percent of it is, a vast majority of that is actually self-generated, self-created. And all of that potential harm goes away by developing your paranormal awareness. So believe it or not, working to build your paranormal abilities, your subtle senses, your psychic connections, all of that kind of stuff actually makes you safer. And that's why you want to work on building your paranormal awareness. Hail.